I said, okay, who do I call to get the check? Well, I got close to him because I became the top guy in his company very quickly. But his company fell apart right at that time. He had all these offices in California, like 10 offices. They had about 20 salespeople in each. And I accelerated. I did better than anybody there only because it wasn't for me about money. It was about mission. It was about, I wanted to change lives. I was a zealot, and I found the way, and I was so persistent. And so I moved up in his company, and then gradually they called me one day, and the goal was to be an area sales director. You had your own office and 30 people. And they called me and said, Tony, we want to move you up. You're the best in the whole country. We want to sit down with you and chat with you. So that's when I got to sit down with Jim. And he said, you're unbelievable. This is what you've done. And he says, we're having a little bit of a change here. And he goes, how would you like to take on a city in LA? I said, I'd love to. He goes, what city do you want? I grew up poor, so I went Beverly Hills, thinking they're giving me the money. And then he goes, how many people do you want? I said, 30. It's the most anybody had, right? He goes, okay. He goes, when do you want to start? I said, tomorrow. He goes, great, you're in. I said, okay, who do I call to get the check? He goes, oh no, it's called phase 2. We have this new program where you're in charge. It's your business. You hire me to come in. You're a broker and you fill the event all by yourself and then you keep half the profits.
So the $35, you sell it out, 500 people come in, whatever that number is, 17,500, you keep 8, he keeps 80, whatever the number is.
1,000 people, but yes. But I'd never put 1,000 people in a room before, right? The theory was you put 30 people in the room and you followed up and you sold his other products and services. That was the business it was in. But I learned to book myself 3 times a day. I talked to groups where there was supposed to be 20 people there and 4 showed up and 2 were drunk. And I learned how to just take control and make an impact. And I filled these events up and I had my own business. All of a sudden I was a broker in business. So he made that happen.